Hello, everybody. Welcome back or welcome to the Sound Mind Strategy Podcast. This is episode number 24 with husband and wife duo come together and have a deep dive into different topics within our realm of mindset coaching and people development. The four main areas that we focus our coaching on are athletes, nutritionally minded, relationships, and those wanting to make a career change or the entrepreneur role. Those are the areas that we like to come together and really champion those that are wanting to make a big change in those areas. Whether you identify as the athlete wanting to make a change nutritionally or better your relationship or career mind, this is the podcast for you. Stick around and hopefully you enjoy what's coming up. Hey, everybody. Glad you could make it back for another week of the Sound Mind Strategy Podcast. Like we said earlier, this is episode number 24, right in line with week 24 for Anina and little baby B.
Lots is happening. Lots is going on.
How you feeling? What's going on? Update us.
Yeah, so week 24, a lot of things are happening with baby. Like this, a lot of the book talked about the lungs really developing even more and allowing some of the air sacs to inflate. There'll be periodic muscular breathing movements, it says, as a baby keeps trying to draw air into the lungs. Which is kind of cool. It said it can actually be found by ultrasound too, detected by the ultrasound, just that pattern that's going with their breathing. So anyways, it's been neat. I'm actually feeling baby move a lot, so that's been fun. And for a while I was like, why is he not moving? But he's definitely moving in there, so that's been cool.
Yeah.
What does your book say?
Viability. So this is a big week where lungs are formed and baby's now strong enough that it has a 50 to 75% chance of survival outside of the womb. So that's awesome. That's really cool. That's a big milestone that we've hit. I guess relieve a little pressure. Big step for us. And then the baby is the length of an ear of corn, or about 1 foot long. That's really cool.
That is.
So some stats about mom. Her uterus is now the size of a soccer ball.
Wow.
She may have some back pain, difficulty sleeping, heartburn, our good friend flatulence. and swelling. I don't know. From my side, now granted, this is just an outsider looking in. You seem to be doing good. A little tired. You do like your sleep now, which is good. I love to see that. Mm-hmm. But your energy's been well. Like once you're up, you kind of are good. You're romping around and like to move. Yoga, still riding a little bit. It's kind of now indoors, but yeah.
It is.
And the coolest thing, I got to feel him too.
Yeah, that was
she's
cool.
like, hey, put your hand on my belly. Like I could totally feel little dude moving around in there. That was really cool. That was like, okay.
It's like a little Hallmark moment.
That was fun.
That was really neat. I'd say a little bit of back pain, but doing some yoga specifically for that right now, just some YouTube ones. So that's been helping too. It's moving right along.
Yeah,
my goodness.
It's going so fast. I know every time we talk about it with somebody, it's like more and more weeks tick off. And I mean, I guess that means that we're recording more and more podcasts too, just like life is moving and it's definitely full steam. So
yeah, very true.
Things are good.
Yes. Yeah. So do you want to give us your dad joke today?
Oh,
do you have one in store?
I do. It's a good one. I guess it really kind of falls in line really well because we actually were at a wedding last night.
Yeah.
So here we go. That wedding we went to was so beautiful. Even the cake was in tears. Yeah, okay. That's kind of cheesy, but I thought it was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Let's see. So the seasons are changing, right? It's fall time.
Yes.
Weather's cooling off. I've been loving it. Hopefully everyone who's listening to this, wherever you are around the world, that today, yesterday, this weekend was as beautiful for you as it was for us. Like it was awesome. I mean, you could wear anything you wanted to, be the perfect temperature.
Yes.
Moving in and out of the sun, it was a little cool, a little warm. That sun was so bright. And I mean, here in St. Louis this weekend was very nice.
It was so nice. Yeah. I'm like, we could just bottle that up and have it every day. That would be great.
Yeah. Yesterday, I went on a ride with some friends, some teammates, and it was chilly. It was a little more than chilly. It was cold in the morning.
39 or something?
Yeah. But, if you dress right for it and the sun came out, it was cool the first hour or so. But, man, we did a nice long ride and the sun came out and warmed everything up. It was a great day.
Yes.
Wrapped that up, then had a wedding at Forest Park at the boathouse. It was beautiful. It was right on the water. The sun was shining. It was
so
great.
Nice. Yeah. And then this morning, church, and then we went to Veg Fest, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah. Veg Fest was cool. So this was the second year, right?
At least second year we've gone. Yeah. Yes. So that was fun. We got to meet up with another friend there. We met some new people as well and took Cooper and tried out some like gooey butter cake that was vegan, chocolate chip gooey butter cake. That was really tasty. And tried some like smoked jackfruit on top of nachos. That was really tasty too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we've been doing the vegan thing for, I don't know what, 5
years?
5 years now. Granted, that's not been a super long time, but like even just over those 5 years, like the amount of dishes and things that have like been veganized or the desserts that have come out, like it's so easy anymore. It's so easy.
Yeah.
And the flavors anytime you would find like a specialty like vegan food, even 5 years ago, it was like, I don't know if I want to waste my money on it because it's probably not going to be good. It's going to have some weird taste, but anymore, it's very good.
Yeah, it really is. It's so tasty, but
it was fun. So it was cool to see there was loads of people out there trying all the food, checking out all the vendors. It was a beautiful day. The park was slammed.
Oh yeah. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, all the dogs were out, so it was a good day for sure.
Yeah, and it was good training, I felt like, for Cooper because he had his first therapy class last week. And so, we had to work a lot on like this healing and, sitting and staying, but it was all good. It's all in, effort to help him become a therapy dog.
Yeah, absolutely. And healing as in like learning the command heal.
Yeah, exactly. Learning yeah, exactly.
But no, he
picked it up fast.
Yeah, he knows sit, stay. He knows all the basics. He's been through basic obedience school and stuff like that. But man, you were working on him on heel like that next day, and man, he literally picked that up so fast.
He did.
I mean, it was very stunning. Like he's such a smart dog, and he's got the perfect temperament for it. We do have to round out some of that high energy, and a lot of that's still puppy.
It is.
But he's going to be a great therapy dog once we get him through. It's a 10-week course, and then we're working with him very regularly on just learning some basic command and
doing the homework with him, like the teacher said. He will tell on us if
he'll be a great
dog.
Do
it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If we didn't do it,
they do.
Yeah, so.
I'm excited.
Me too. And as time goes on, if people have places that they feel like the therapy dog would be nice to have, like let us know because we will get him out.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as we can.
Yeah, we'll keep everyone updated and as he goes through and gets closer and closer to certification and when he completes that. So you can check him out on his Instagram. I'm sure there'll be some updates on there. That'd be, if you want to check him out, it's at Coopers_Tales, TALES_. So 2 underscores and TALES. So,
yes. Check him out.
Yeah, he's a cute little pup. He's not a huge Instagram, but we try to make it updated every once in a while.
Right.
It was fun. So yeah, and then also the other thing I want to do, just real quick update on, is that Facebook group that we mentioned, that closed group. We are going to get that up and running. It will be firing off, and it hopefully by the time you're listening to this, it will already be done, so we can continue conversation there. because we've had a lot of people reach out and just say, hey, like, feel like it would be a good idea, or when we mentioned that idea, like they were really looking forward to it. So that is on us. We did kind of drop the ball there. We were a little slow. This week was really busy.
It was really busy. Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely going to get that fired up so we can do that, because we feel like there's some important stuff. Like you guys are also experts in your field, experts in your life, right? And we can learn from you and continue that conversation, and just our tribe can grow together and benefit from each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
So what's the topic of the day?
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about just must-haves, things that make our lives simple, and that we want to...
well, more than simple, right? Or add value?
Simple,
Okay.
Add value.
I guess that is simple.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Maybe, but yeah, that's a good point too, because...
Definitely like tools that we have or things in our life that we use on a very regular, consistent basis that simplify or add value to our life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just thought that would be kind of a fun topic to talk about today and share some things out there. And then, of course, we'd love to hear what other people use too. So do you want to start us off on your list, or do you want to go like back and forth?
Yeah, let's kind of ping pong. I can go first if you want.
What's the top one on your list?
So the first one I wrote, these are in no particular order. I just kind of as they came to me. But yeah, the first one is actually an app. There are many that do this. This is just the one that I do. I use Cronometer, which is just a calorie tracking app. So as an athlete, as someone who's kind of gone through some things, like still waiting. Actually, I went and had a blood draw. I'm still waiting on my labs to come back, but I just had to get a fix on this. Like my training was going like a lot. I was training very hard, but like also weight was going up. So it was some things going on, and we're hopefully going to get to the bottom of it. But this is one way I just was able to take the guessing game out of it. Like I feel like I'm eating really good, and then all those secret calories that make it in,
Right.
So I track literally every morsel, and not to be like so regimented, but just to get down and figure things out. So I use that. I really enjoy it. It's easy. They have like a barcode scanner, or you can punch it in. And if it's not in their huge list, I've had very, very few items that are not actually in their list. You can add an item. I know when I've used Cronometer in the past, to add an item, it was it was kind of difficult. I don't know, MyFitnessPal, they might be harder or as hard, but this one, like, it's just like take a photo front and back and kind of do a little write up, and it'll like pull all the information from your photos, and you might add a couple things, and then they'll send you a little email like, hey, thanks, it's been added to our database. So
cool. You've been seeing some results, it seems like, keeping track of that.
Big results. So I also kind of use like a little calculator, like free calculators online, to figure out kind of like a guesstimate of basal metabolic rate, some BMRs, and then it'll kind of take in like your activity levels to kind of little multipliers for it. Yeah, so I did that, and I do adjust according to the workout of the, what I did that day. I've seen some big results. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's your top one. Not your top, but one of the ones on your list.
It's just what I had first on the list.
Yeah. Okay. So mine, one of the things I put on here too was the rollers. The roller I use for my legs to like kind of get
like
some of those
a foam
knots
roller?
out. Yeah, like a foam roller. I know like we have the one brand, Trigger Point, and that really seems to help. Like rolling it on my back. I hear a lot of cracks, which always feels so good. And then just a lot on my quad area too. So that is something that really relieves a lot of tension in my body and feels really good when I'm
a big fan of those
do
too.
it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I guess just kind of what's your routine with it?
So I'll use it a couple days a week, and I start out like on the fronts of my legs, like the quad area, and then I'll kind of flip over and do like the glutes, like the hamstrings and my calves. And then after that, like the grand finale is like doing the back one. Because typically what would happen is I would do the back, roll my back and then be like, oh, I feel so good. And I'd stop doing anything. So I'm like, no, that's
Save
your
that
treat
one.
at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you got to
Yeah.
do everything else first.
Yeah. So with that, I also am a fan of that. I don't do it as much as I should, but I do. Just one caveat, like don't roll your low back. Leave it for like mid upper back.
Yes.
But that low back, that lumbar area, that's just not good for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do the upper. Yeah.
But yeah, it's excellent for working out some of those kinks and getting some. We're like, well, why not stretch? And there's just some things that your body just kind of responds better to with a little bit of rolling compression.
Yeah,
So,
and I try to do both, like in combination, just to get it warmed up. But
and you feel like it really helps, like now too, that you're pregnant.
I do. I feel like it does help with like my mobility, and just like I just almost get this relief of just like, all that tension is just like dissipates. So it is really nice. So yeah.
Awesome.
Get one of those.
Very cool. Okay. Moving on for me. Number 2 is, it's kind of like a twofer on this one. It's iTunes/Audible. So these are basically things that I absolutely use these every single day, multiple times a day. So I'll go Audible when I'm listening to a book, an audiobook, and then iTunes. Or I also have, a couple other different podcasting ones, but iTunes is typically the one I seem to use the most. So for podcasts, I have a handful that I do listen to, some favorite podcasters that I like, and then Audible, I have a few different books that I bounce back and forth between. So it really depends on like what I'm doing, on how I choose which one I want to listen to. So for some workouts, if it's just like a really chill ride, nothing super intense, a lot of high energy stuff, I think that's probably when I'll do a book. And then I'll do it iTunes kind of like as I'm getting ready in the morning, just kind of like background noise. But more than that, like, because then I can like, I am actively listening to, even though I'm still doing something, and I can like rewind it, like, oh, that was really good, and I'll take notes and stuff. So, so for me, like, yeah, I love having that just close to me, and I do find I will go through like 100 times more books if I can listen to them actually than forcing myself to sit down and actually read.
Yeah, because you were like flying through that Left Behind series.
Yeah, it's this big long series. It's I think 13 books in total, and I'm like pretty much almost done with number 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't start it too long ago.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going through them pretty quick. Yeah, so for me that's been really good.
Yeah. My next one that comes for me is one of the mindfulness apps called Abide. It's one that I really do like to use. It's like scriptural based. So it'll like come up, has different areas, you're wanting to work on, like emotions or sleep or just whatever topic you're wanting to focus in on a little bit more. And then, it has a scripture that goes with it. And then just like some quiet time with like really peaceful music for you to kind of meditate on that too. So I do like that one. I know you have one you like too, Ev, right?
Just to
Headspace?
piggyback, because a mindfulness app made my list as well. I do like that Abide. It was pretty good, but I just find myself the one I just kind of tend to open more and use more is Headspace.
Yeah.
I like that one just a little bit more. I think I just feel like when I want to be in that spiritual space, I will purposefully be in that space. I will open and read. I will actually pray. Or when I want mindfulness, I want mindfulness. So I will just do that. Like they have guided, unguided. They have different ones that just kind of different things. If you're physical pain, if you're healing, if you're athlete, if you're depressed, let's trying to think of some other ones.
It's kind of whatever you're going through.
Yeah, they have so many different like actual ones geared towards those different. I don't know. There's not classes, but they're little different modules. Yeah,
I like little modules.
So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to steal that one, but I also had a mindfulness app as well. So it made my list. I think I don't use that a ton. I will just caveat, like, it made my list. It is something that I would love to put in more.
Likewise.
But yeah, probably once or twice a week. But I would like to make it like a daily thing, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes. I think it's
right.
huge.
Still really good. Yeah.
What about you? How often are you finding yourself using that?
I'm using it maybe like twice a week.
Okay.
And I definitely want to step up my game on that too, because I feel good after I do it. So yeah, that's an area we could set a smart goal around.
Yeah. Are you more of a morning or evening or midday meditator, mindfulness practicer?
I like it more in the morning. Like I like my scripture kind of one in the morning, but then at night I was doing there for a while, like the one that was like a meditation for like for pregnancy, just like kind of like a loving kindness one almost, that you're giving like loving and kind words to your baby. And so I really like doing that one to like fall asleep to that one. That one was really nice.
Yeah. I remember I've come in when you've gone to bed before me. That's still playing and you're out like a light.
Yeah. I'm like, it'll sink in. I'll get in there.
No, it's good. And it's perfect. It should.
Yeah. What about you? Cool. Do you like the morning or evenings, midday?
Yeah. I like to start my day with it, but I also really like to end with it too. I kind of have decided that I like starting the day with mindfulness, but ending the day with like kind of just some gratitude. So I guess that is a form of mindfulness for sure, but it's not guided in any way. I don't need to open an app for it.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Prayer routine.
All right. What else you got?
I have this one. You're going to laugh. Bobby pins and chapstick. Yes.
Really?
Amen to that.
Yeah. No, I find them everywhere.
They're everywhere. I have at least a bobby pin and chapstick in every single pocket, it seems like.
Multiple.
But yeah, multiples, and they are a necessity. I mean,
I find them everywhere.
You find them everywhere, and those bobby pins we've actually used before to like clean out mud from our cleats on our shoes, and
it's weird how many uses those little things have.
They do. Like one time we had to use it to like screw something on, or like we were doing something with. I can't remember what, but I was like, "Ooh, a bobby pin."
It's perfect. Yeah.
So those were must-haves. I feel like little MacGyver.
Yeah. There you go, MacGyver.
Definitely. Yeah. What's next for you?
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. No, I'm just. No, that's a good one. Chapstick is not on my list, but it is a must-have for me. It's a weird thing. Like in bike races and stuff, like. That is a must-have in my pocket.
Yeah, it is.
Like in races, I don't even take my phone. I don't take like in a race, but I will have chapstick. I don't know why. But it's a thing.
Have you ever pulled it out while you're riding on a race?
Probably less than 5 times.
You just like to have it pregame it.
I think it's because I want it on the start line.
That's what I was
then there's nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
So I just keep it. Okay, moving on. For me, it's the Vitamix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I almost said I can't live without it. I could. I lived without it before, but since going vegan and really kind of like dialing up my nutrition and my awareness and thoughtfulness about nutrition, the Vitamix is a must-have for me. Mm-hmm. I know it's expensive. I know it's overkill probably, but like a high-speed blender that can do pretty much anything, right?
Right.
It can liquefy anything. So it's awesome. I love it. I use it quite literally every day, often 2 or 3 times a day. It's got so the one that we got was, we didn't need all the bells and whistles, but I wanted to make sure we had the best motor. So that's what I recommend. Get the best motor and then just one with a simple little turn knob to dial up the speed. They're great. The company is great. I know there are other options that are probably just as good. Some people might like them better. I've never tried like the Blendtec, I think is the other one. And I think Ninja has stepped up their game. We had one before and I did not like it at all. But I think their new ones might be better. I don't know.
Yeah. Liked it at the time, but then once you did this one, it was
that one was terrible compared to the
Vitamix. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a must-have. I do smoothies. I do
nice cream.
Yeah, nice like banana nice cream in it. A lot of different things. I really find a lot of value, and that has been money well spent for me. So bless you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, moving on. One of these ones that I know I should not have on here, but I do. I don't get it all the time, but I do love coffee. I know. Caffeine. I love it. I can't. I know pregnancy. I'm not supposed to.
As a tool, so like, what do you mean? Why did coffee make your list as a
something that
because
adds
it's
value to my life and simplifies it?
Oh, okay. So you just went pure. Okay. So like, how do you like to insert caffeine into your life? What's your method?
Well, I'd prefer through IV,
like
but
free basic. Man, golly.
No,
this is a family show.
Hey, you said it. I guess I did too. But it's just something about like it. Just, I mean, quite honestly, I feel like it just like starts my brain up.
Well, of course it does. It's a stimulant.
I know, and that's why it's like a necessity because it feels like it gets my thoughts going. Like this, my brain, all the connections they start like all those light switches just start turning on when I have my coffee. It feels like an auditorium, and it's just like dun 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 dun, and you go all the way up, all the lights
click on.
Yeah, it's like that's totally what it is.
Okay, fair enough. I'll let it pass, but you have to tell me like what tool, what form do you like the most? Not coffee, but like how do you like to? What's your routine around coffee look like?
For me, like what I would love to do. And
you're pregnant, so it should be very little. We have this argument discussion quite often. I say 0 is the best, but who am I? I don't know.
And I say in moderation, yes, please.
Well, if they say limit.
Well, they say limit it like 1 to 2.
I know, but if the recommendation is to limit, I think that's just to like let people be okay with it. And so I'm like, so obviously too much is bad, so a little bit's better. So for me, my brain goes, none is the best. Pick none. Like, yeah. That's the way I do. Why settle for not best?
Yeah. And my brain says,
give me the caffeine.
We'll do 1 to 2. We'll compromise.
What would baby say?
Baby says, this is awesome. I'm having I feel like I'm at a jungle gym inside here, bouncing around.
I disagree. I think baby says, hey, lady, I'm trying to sleep. I'm growing at a rapid rate. And that occurs during sleep.
But
it's just my opinion.
But I'm
not a doctor.
The way I envision having in it more is like I really like drinking it while I'm taking Cooper on a walk in the mornings. Like using that little lap belt.
Oh, so is that another item on your list?
Yeah, the little lap belt.
Yeah, you can segue. That's fine. You can
it is. It's one of those little lap belts that like you can run with them or walk with them more, but with these belts. But just like I wear this belt.
Do you remember what brand that is?
Mine's like this one is a Kong one that we got from the
just
pet store.
Pet stores.
And then I'm hands free, so I can jog with him, or I can drink my coffee and walk with him, and then so it's. That simplifies things too, because some mornings it's just like I don't want to keep tugging at you, or just like have to be holding the leash in my hand.
Well, because you really do your big big walks with Cooper in the morning, right? So that's another form of where you can be getting that mindfulness in, like those nice long walks, that prayer time, or just clearing your mind before you start the day.
Yeah, it is.
So I think you should explore that route of clearing the mind and starting the mind instead of like needing stimulant. But I get it. I understand. I am also a fan of coffee, but I'll get into that in a second. Go ahead and tell us like the initial thing before the dog walking leash jumped into this one.
Oh yeah, but basically the utility of the coffee in my life.
I mean, are you a coffee snob and you have to do like the AeroPress? Grind your own
I can
beans.
do I don't do all that. I mean, I can. We have the French press, but a K-cup will work for me.
Oh, just pure Keurig, yeah.
I could totally do that. I like it I like coffee, like a strong taste to it.
So you probably like the Nespresso the most.
Yeah, the Nespresso is pretty sweet. I know we haven't used it since I've been pregnant, but that one is pretty nice. I do like that. I just like that really strong flavor, kind of like how you talked about the beers last time. It's I like the bold,
like the heavy
stuff
in your face.
Exactly, a little punch you out a little bit.
I am more of it's really weird with caffeine for me. I think I mentioned that I was doing that elimination diet.
Oh yeah,
I've already
the
finished it.
Elimination.
Yeah, exactly. mindful-based elimination. It was a program through the VA, and as a veteran, I was able to take this course. It was 10 weeks long, and it was actually really good. So I think I went about 6 or 7 weeks with no caffeine.
Yeah.
And I felt really good. And I was almost hesitant to introduce. And the only reason I did was to actually follow through the program. I wanted to see how my body was when I reintroduced. Because if you don't, you kind of defeats the purpose of the class and the course. Like, it's to get it out for a long period of time, reintroduce, and see how if your body rejects it, then you have a bad day or two, and then you just know that's not an item for you. Caffeine was fine for me. I did notice a big difference because I wanted to be very thoughtful in how I introduced it, because there's different ways to get caffeine, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to try a green tea, and specifically matcha. That's how I like to get mine. And then also coffee. And I did notice like 1 cup of coffee was fine, but when I did multiple cups, 2, and I generally stop at 3 anyway. I don't really like the way I feel with so much, but even on 2, I just felt uneasy. It kind of messed my stomach up a little bit. Not a ton, but I just noticed it wasn't as good.
Okay. You get kind of jittery on that one.
Little jittery, right? Like, why am I sweating? I'm doing nothing. Like, I'm just like sitting here frying right now.
Right.
So not good. But I have kept up with my matcha, which I really enjoy that. It's just a nice, even distribution of coffee, because green tea does
caffeine,
have caffeine. Thank you. It does have the L-theanine in there, which calms it out. Like, it really kind of eliminates that jittery feeling.
Yes.
So it's really good. I enjoy that.
It's that for sigmatic stuff, right?
Matcha is just a green tea. There's a lot of different brands. The one that I particularly like is by Four Sigmatic. It's a powder, and then I add it to my hot water. Yeah.
A little rice milk, a little frother.
Yeah, and then I'll make a little matcha latte kind of thing. Yeah, with a plant-based milk, almond, rice, oat, just whatever kind of whatever you like.
You do good on those.
Perfect.
My next? Or was that yours?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I just kind of stole your coffee thing. Yeah, so I'll go. So for me, this is like a 2-parter, but it's a training plan. So as athletes and very busy, I like to have a plan. I coach athletes, and I've also personally worked with coaches for a long time, for several years anyway. And went and got my undergrad in exercise science, and strength and conditioning as a minor. So I know how to program. I know all this stuff, but there's a lot of it where, one, I just want to take me out of the equation, where I want to be the athlete.
Right.
I think every coach needs a coach, and we absolutely believe in that philosophy, both for our mindset coaching as well as working with athletes. So for part 1, I also utilize like strength conditioning. That is a big part of my routine. It used to just be, a few years ago, it used to just be off season, but now I'm not getting any younger, and I definitely see strength training as a huge benefit to my cycling. So I actually have just connected with him, and things are going really, really well with this, where I even found a program that's online based, but for strength training for cyclists specifically. I mean, it would be good for just general pop runners, because there's a lot of stuff. He has programs for like no equipment, minimal equipment, or some other programs. So that's great. If you're interested in that, reach out, and then I can put you in contact with him. And then the other one for me is a training plan. So I'm not currently working with a coach. So I am coaching myself in that regard for now. But how this plays in is a smart trainer. So that way I can, and then also this program called Swift. So that way I can, very specific workouts, I can get on the trainer and be in a room and just crush it, listen to a
Right.
podcast, listen to whatever. And so for me, those are huge. I can definitely kind of unplug my brain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have to worry about traffic. I don't have to worry about turning. Like, I just know when I'm on. And it is, every minute is valuable and every minute is utilized purposefully. So you're not waiting at stoplights. You're not dealing with cars. So for me, like, being very busy now, it's a game changer. So if you're a cyclist, it'd be like a treadmill for for a
Exactly.
runner, where you can adjust incline. This will adjust tension based on, like, the program Zwift is a online interface kind of game system. So if you're going up a hill, it'll tighten down or really, you can
Right.
race. So you can do your own very specific structured stuff, or you can just kind of free ride. You can do races and group rides, and it's really cool. It's a
It
fun
is.
platform.
It is fun, like building your own little avatar with their kid and hair color and
Yeah.
all that. I mean, it does make it fun.
They've
and
definitely-
you meet, people all over the world doing it. So
Absolutely.
It's cool.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, there's people like exactly all over the world. Like, you can start naming countries, but they're all on there.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. I mean, they've definitely gamified training, which is great for some people. It's that, and then there's the camaraderie side. You can chat with people. Definitely makes
Yeah.
people very eager and more willing to get on. And the races are super hard, but
Yes.
they also have them, different category levels, so you can kind of race closer to a category that would be like you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
fun.
it is really nice. Especially
Very
you need
fun.
that motivation. If you're not very internally motivated, sometimes this external meeting somebody on there is fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You can give kudos and you can say good job and follow people and friend people and all
Yeah.
the things of social that we are very familiar with now.
It is cool. Okay, so my next one is, and this is more like it adds value to my life, is I just really like flowers, plants.
I love your list. Your list is so fun. I was like, we're talking about I was like, okay, hey, just, this week, let's just come up with some tools that, like, tools was the key word for me in my brain, that simplify or add value. And she's like, oh, add value. Okay. Caffeine, flowers, chapstick. I love it.
It's funny. It's
you
just
know
different where our brains go,
No,
right?
but that's cool. Like, that's what adds value to your life. And,
yeah, it's what's important to me, and it's more of these kinds of.
and that's, you do you,
Yeah.
I love it. That's cool.
It's so true. And
I
isn't
love
that
hearing
kinda-
your list, because we didn't really discuss. It was like, I got yours, and okay, cool.
Yeah, and
This
I think
is fun.
It is fun, and it's kind of neat. It makes me think of, like, in coaching, when somebody says something like, when somebody says something like, you say tools, kind of, you have an idea what comes into your mind.
Yeah,
And
shovels.
it's different, exactly. And it's different
Hammers.
than the idea that comes into my mind,
Flowers.
Yeah,
Chapstick.
exactly. So it is just funny. It's like you can never assume, which is what I love about coaching, because it makes you be very curious about, well, tell me more. What does that look like for you? Because ours are obviously two different things, but
No, that's awesome.
So-
I think I know completely has no place in this conversation theoretically,
right.
but that was the best snapshot of coaching. Like, if you have any idea what coaching is, bam, she just nailed it. Like, you literally hit a home run. Podcast is over. Roll the curtain.
Bye.
No, but that's perfect. Like, exactly. Like, what's tools to you? Well, it's not to me. Like, what add value? Because you picked up on simplify, add value.
Exactly.
Yeah, and those things, like, hit home runs for you.
Yeah, they do.
So that's
And
perfect.
yeah, so
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
it's funny how that kind of just came all out, but I love it. So yeah, I just love, like right now I'm looking at these flowers we have on our table, because I'm like, Evan, can you give me some flowers? I just love color. I love the brightness. I love, it's just my surroundings.
Did you ask for those, or did I spontaneously get those for you?
Well, these ones, I was like, man, it'd be awesome to have some flowers. And then I was like, no, I'm just kidding. But really, I was being serious. And then he brought me some of
I
these
came through.
yellow mums, which are
Yeah.
pretty. But you do surprise me with flowers sometimes too, so that is nice. But it just adds a lot to my environment. I just love looking at, like, things that have life in them, and just their colors and the shapes of different plants. And I know that, like, the one new plant we got has, like, it's supposed to help you breathe better or something. It's an air purifier.
Yeah. So I put it the room with the trainer.
You put it in the trainer room. It was like
beautifies the room and serves as a anti-stinker.
An anti-stinker, exactly. All of what we need in there. So it's perfect.
Hey. I'm just teasing.
But yeah, so I love that. If I could have fresh flowers on my table every single day, I would. So that's it.
That's cool. Okay, flowers. Bam. I love it. Okay, next for me is a very nice chef knife.
Ooh, yeah. You have one.
We've played around with I don't want to say crappy, inexpensive knives.
Yes.
And I will say they do not add value, but rather frustration.
Agreed.
Yeah, so they're not great. So Anina was very kind, and this was a Christmas gift or birthday.
I think
which
it was
they're
birthday.
completely different in times of the year.
Right.
But
I think it was birthday.
it was a gift.
Yeah.
So she got me this handmade chef knife. So like, granted, this is kind of a couple years into our transitioning from standard American eating, even though we were kind of health conscious, into the vegan world, and do a lot more cooking, right? A lot more fresh and food preparing. So I was like, I want a knife, like a good knife. Because we're watching all these videos and learning how to cook and learning different foods to prepare as vegan, and they all have these awesome knives. I was like, I want an awesome knife. And she got me an awesome knife. I would say the brand, but it's a local shop here in St. Louis. And actually, I was trying to share that with someone else in that mindfulness class. And I looked them up, and they closed.
Oh, bummer. KnifeWorks? Wasn't it KnifeWorks or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was KnifeWorks But,
bummer.
So we need to find a new one. And, they sharpened. I think it was
for free. They sharpen them every year.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Bummer. Maybe they just moved.
Maybe they just moved. We'll have to do some digging.
Yeah. But anyway, get yourself a very nice kitchen knife, chef knife. Like, you just need one. Like, if you could get two, like an 8-inch is really good, I think. Don't be intimidated and go like with a small one. Get a bigger one. The weight is right. It cuts better. It's safer. And actually, so a very sharp, good chef knife is actually safer than those dull, crappy ones that come in the big blocks at the, just crappy ones. So
yeah, it is nice. It's a little intimidating at first, but
no. But once you learn some basic knife skills,
it's not so bad.
And my chopping isn't awesome, but it's decent. It's definitely a lot smoother in the kitchen. You feel better cooking. It's the better experience cooking, right?
It is.
To have nice things.
Just sawing your veggies.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, a good chef knife, I use very regularly. So that's definitely on the list for me.
Yeah. So my next one is a calendar. So I need and love having a calendar in my life. So I have one of the apps, like the one that just comes on the Apple phone. I use that. You don't have like a special one?
Special.
Nope. I just use that app that comes on the phone for
Works good enough.
Yeah, for like just home kind of stuff or business stuff. And then at work I use it's called like the Simplified Planner by Emily Lay, and I really like that one just for work.
Like a paper one.
It's a paper one, yeah.
Okay.
So I have both worlds. I'd prefer paper all around because I'm very like visual, and I like to write it and feel the paper and all that. But I didn't want to have two calendars, so I just put one on the phone and then the paper at work.
So you would prefer paper everywhere?
I would. I just like it because I just don't trust technology, and I'm like always thinking like, oh, what if my phone crashes or something happens and I lose all my appointments? Which I've heard has happened to people before, but for right now, I'm trusting that for my day-to-day stuff. And
it's 2019, almost 2020. I think
we
I would hope
we're
go. Okay on calendar apps. No, that's great. I agree. I use a calendar a lot, and one, it saves paper for me. So I use it the other way. Like every dentist appointments, haircut appointment, all these things. Like, do you want a reminder card? No, I just put we're chatting, my phone is out, and I'll plug it in. Done. I set my reminder, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. And it's so nice because I think I used to try to keep everything in my head. And I'm like, why am I like stressing myself out and just making my brain think all the time on these things I have to do? Or I'd write on a piece of paper and lose it, or, just silly stuff. So it's finally like, come on, let's just
simplify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that thing that we carry in our pocket, these iPhones, or if you're, an Android user, whatever, these smartphones that we have, like, they're literally so smart. Like, there's so much technology there in this tiny little package, and it's with us constantly. Why not just use it? Let it be a tool. Mine did not make the list, but there's a lot of things on there that I use that made the list. So in essence, my phone made the list several times, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, and if I can get that clutter out of my head,
exactly,
and then I can use that energy and that space to be creative and write, because like writing is something that I am learning that I love to do, and hopefully you guys will be able to see more of that in the future. Hint, hint, but that's coming. But I love writing, and I used to hate it, but like I think I didn't understand what it was for me as an outlet, as a way to get things off.
Yeah.
So even just the simple things of like using a calendar, using that, like instead of like, it allows for me to be creative in other areas. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. Kind of frees up some brain space.
Yeah. So against everything I just said, a notebook. But no, it's very important for me. Agree. I love to write.
Yeah.
And actually write with, instead of typing. And so I use a pocket-sized one. It's small. It's something I can carry with me because I like my to-do list to be handwritten. So that's what I use it for, is to-do lists, little small things. And I think a small to-do list is actually better, because if it's so long, if it's like bigger than 6 or 7 items, they're not getting done.
No, it's not going to happen.
But if it's like 3 items, I'm crushing them. If it's 5, 6, there's a good chance there may be one lingering, but it's okay, because then I can take it, roll it into the next day. So I love doing that, like little notes to myself. Like in my creativity space, I will also write, different ideas. I'll write ideas for the podcast. I'll write ideas of things I want to write about or speak about or talk to Anina about. Call so-and-so. Like, they've been on my mind. They've been on my heart like 3 times this week. And I'm starting to actually listen and pay attention to that. Like, that's important. And send them a text. And the weirdest thing, I've done that, and I'm starting to get those from other people.
That's awesome.
And it wasn't like I reached out to them and now they're reaching out back. Like, totally different crowds, totally different people, and then it's just like, hey, I love what you've been doing. Like,
yeah, you're reaping what you've sown into other people's lives.
It's just so cool. It's just that, what are you? We spoke about this. I don't know, I forget how many weeks ago, but just that vibration that we put out. Like, what are you putting out? And that's so true. I mean, like, I'm just being thoughtful and loving people and being genuine, and it's so fun that it's like bouncing back at me, and it's so really cool to be on the receiving side. So get you a notebook. I like Moleskine or Moleskine. I don't know how you say it.
Yes.
Skine, Moleskine. It's nice, good paper, good feel to it. They have hardback. They have like cardboard, like just soft ones. A bunch of different sizes. They have giant calendars and all kinds of fun ones. So.
Oh, cool.
I like those. They're nice. They're easy to use. So perfect.
Yeah, I like that.
What you got?
So mine can go like right along with the writing, like the notebook. Is I think it's important to have.
Here we
looking
go.
at your face.
Brace yourself, everyone. Brace yourself.
Your face is like, oh gosh, what's she gonna say now? But is I feel so funny saying this. Like, what? It's like grown-up crayons, but I think it's important to have fun colored pens, because when I am writing notes, for some reason, when I write in different colors, like right now I'm writing with a purple pen and I have, all different colors of pens. And sometimes, I kid you not, like for me, like I even remember like when I was in college, I could sometimes remember like different parts of my notes when I wrote them in different colors.
I have that same experience.
Okay.
Now I don't use purple. Nothing wrong with purple, but I do remember that. Or I had different color notebooks and I would be able to remember that. Or I would be able to remember where something was on a page, and that would be one more factor to help. Like, I remember reading that note. Now, granted, it wasn't because I wrote it in purple. It was because I read it again in purple or red or whatever. Like, oh yeah, it's up in that top right corner in purple.
Yeah, exactly. It does something for the brain. I don't even know if there's any research or anything behind that.
No,
but
it's just one more. I think it's just one more identifier.
Yeah, it's like one more identifier. And so I'm always taking notes, like when I'm doing podcasts or I'm on the phone with our coaches. And so it just helps me remember things for some reason. And it just like makes my paper look so pretty.
Now, do you have, because you are in this, like you have a lot of things going, like you said, we work with clients. We also work with coach, podcast notes, different things like that. You have another big writing thing that you have going in the works. Now, will you have like purples for this, reds for that? Or will you have like, no, I'm just grabbing purple and it's going to be, that's today. And then,
yeah, it's the second one. It's really whatever I'm feeling that day. If I'm feeling, I want to use this pen. I haven't used this color for a while, then I use that one. But
for any application.
Exactly, for any application.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah, it just keeps it varying. And like when I flip through my pages, it just looks so colorful. I love color.
And that's a way for you to express creativity.
True.
It's a way for you to be fun and bring excitement and just like you do you kind of thing. Like we touched on, like bring that into everything that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like as I'm working with a client and taking notes, like I'm still enjoying my life and I'm still like, it takes the work part out of it, right? Mm-hmm. Does it?
It does. For me, it just makes it like, just adds like an air of just like fun and excitement and change of pace. You know, it's like at work, all I use is like black and blue. Right. And it's like, I can have a little fun here and use a whole array of colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hand it back over to you. What's your next one?
Kind of just to speed this along, I have a couple more items. How many do you have left?
I only have one.
Okay, I'll go quick. So one is just a simple electric kettle, like because I do the tea, like my matcha tea, and then I also do like warm lemon water in the morning. I found that that's been really, really good, and I don't necessarily even need or want caffeine a lot when I do that. Sometimes I will still come in with a matcha tea after that, but that way I can set my temperature or just go full blast, and it brings it to a boil super fast. I don't have to worry about like, you know, I'll use it more. Basically, it's just little simple electric kettle, and I use it a ton. I use it probably twice a day.
Yeah, probably so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's me. That's it. What do you got?
That's it. My very last one is I think it's important to something that adds value to my life, our life, for me anyways, and maybe doesn't make it simplify, but it is having a dog.
Oh gosh.
I think it's important to have.
That adds complexity, frustration, lots of loves
Especially
and
when
kisses
you wake up and he has gotten sick on the rug. Yes, Cooper, I see you over there looking at me right now. But I mean, it really is like, you know, like what one gal said to me one time. She's like, yeah, you get like a high from having your dog. Like when you pet your dog, you get that endorphin rush, and so do they. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So he gets a lot of rubs.
As much grief as I give him, it's all in fun. He has absolutely been a key member in our family, even though it's only been a year. But we've had dogs. You and I have always had a dog in our life. Like there was only a short period after Tyson passed where we waited to mourn properly, and before we went and found this little dude. But yeah, I 100% agree. Like life with a dog is so much better.
It is.
Definitely not a tool, but he does add value. He doesn't simplify, but he does add value.
There he is. Yeah, but he and I think as a tool moving forward, I think he's going to be a great, like, I don't want to say tool, but like with us wanting to take him as a therapy dog to schools, to hospitals.
I agree with that. Like he will he's definitely doing it not for us,
Yeah.
but to add value to others' lives, because we've been on the receiving end of needing people. And so we had a couple ideas of where we were wanting to take him, but I think we've kind of honed in. We'll probably try a lot just to kind of see
where he fits.
But we're really wanting to try like children's hospital and stuff like that. But if you guys have any want of therapy dog, please hit us up. Let us know. We still have a couple months before he's done.
9 weeks left.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for me, my last one is kind of a twofer again. InstaPot / rice cooker. Now we do have two separate things. We had the rice cooker first, got the InstaPot. You can use an InstaPot as a rice cooker. So if you don't have either one, I would probably do the InstaPot and then just learn how to cook rice in it. But time saving, set it and forget it for a moment. Dinner can be cooking while you're doing something else.
Yes.
And then actually, like the InstaPot, I thought it was just going to make a bowl of hot mush, but it's really good.
It is really cool.
I mean, obviously you have to make the food properly, but it turns out well. The food is good. It's prepared properly. Yeah. I've been very happy with it. And the rice cooker, I love that too. Just like I'll throw some rice on actually while I'm doing a workout. When I get done, rice is done.
It's done. Yeah.
And then I can make dinner.
So magical. I love all these technology. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are my last two, but they get used quite often. I don't know. The InstaPot, we haven't been hitting so much, but I'm sure we will, that the weather's changing now.
Yeah.
Rice cooker gets used probably once a week or maybe twice, depending. We'll do big batches, quinoa, rice, different other grains, whatnot. So for sure. You have anything else?
Nope. That's about it. I mean, of course, now.
I do have an honorable mention.
Oh, you do? What is your honorable mention?
It's my camera. It's a DSLR camera. The only reason it's an honorable mention is because it's not simplifying and it isn't quite adding value yet, because I don't know very much about it. Like I have such...
You know a lot about it, I feel like.
Well, I have so much interest and ideas of how I want to use it and be creative with it. So I definitely have a lot more that I need to invest into it in terms of learning. But yeah, so for me, it's an honorable mention, and I'm so excited to actually explore that route and learn to, and actually use it as a way to get away and not add value to anything else, but just me being creative in a completely new, separate vein. So
just adding more creativity to your life.
Yep.
Yeah. I like it.
That's it for me. That wraps up my list. I know it was kind of long, but I think it was good.
Yeah. Thank you guys for staying tuned. And like we said earlier, we'd love to hear if there's some things that add value, simplify, tools, whatever you have that you want to share, please do. We love hearing the feedback.
Yeah.
So,
what did you have? What on your list? What would make your list? Is there anything that you would share from ours? Anything that's completely different or random? Yeah, let us know. We're really excited and love to hear from you guys about what are the things that like really simplify or add value to your life. We'll have that Facebook group up and running where we can continue the conversation there. If you have any questions about coaching, the mindset coaching or the people development that Anina and I kind of touched on earlier, we would love to go over that with you in maybe a more one-on-one setting over a phone call or email conversation, whatever works best for you. You can check us out on soundmindstrategies.com. Click that contact us button, shoot us a line, and we can definitely explore that route. There's a complimentary consult there for you guys waiting. So please take advantage of that. We are still accepting clients, but they are filling up. So don't miss out there. There's some more pricing and, if packages, but we can go over all that on the phone too.
Yeah.
Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. My nephew is taking over the social there, and he's doing an awesome job. He is absolutely crushing it.
Yeah,
so
he's doing a really
I
good
could
job.
not be happier with him and his talent and his abilities. So thank you guys for sticking with us. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Peace.